Welcome to It's Story Time. Today I am here with my friend Lamb Chop. Today's story is Be a Buddy, Not a Bully, and it's written by Michael Soto and Eric Grafe and illustrated by Yvette Gabriel, Dion Williams, and Nicholas Wright. So let's begin. At the end of a hard day on the farm, Harvard's like to sit by the fire and write in his journal. One evening, Harvest heard a noise outside his window. It was Buck, the town banker. He was digging away with a shovel at the edge of Harvest's cornfield. "What are you doing here?" said Harvest. "Oh, nothing," said Buck. "I'm just seeing if my shovel works." "But why are you trying to dig it in my yard?" Harvest asked. Buck kicked his foot around in the dirt. "And why are you dressed like that?" Harvest asked. "Okay, okay, Harvest. I'll tell you what I'm up to," Buck said. He leaned in very close to Harvest, "but only if you promise to keep it a secret," Buck whispered. "I promise," Harvest said. "I'm digging for treasure," Buck replied, and he jammed his shovel in the dirt. Harvest put his hands on his belly and laughed. "There's no treasure here," he said. Buck shook his head and told Harvest, "This map says otherwise. I was digging for treasure today down at the river bottom, when I found this map tucked inside a bottle." "I don't know about that. I don't know about any treasure," Harvest said. "This is just where I plant my ears of corn." Then Buck clapped his hands. "I'll just keep digging and let you know if I find anything." "It doesn't matter what the map says," Harvard insists. "You can't dig here." "I'll tell you what," Buck said. "You let me dig on your land," Buck raised his eyebrows, "or I'll tell everyone at the market that your vegetables are rotten." Harvest quickly covered the ears of corn. "Shh! They'll hear you." Buck squinted his eyes at Harvest and threw a tantrum, stomping his feet and throwing ears of corn to and fro. "Stop that!" Harvest frowned. "Why are you being so mean to me, Buck? I don't want to fight. I'm going to bed, and I want you to please go home." "You're a real spoil sport, Harvest," Buck shouted. Harvest went inside without a word. The thing Buck said to him had made him feel really low. "Dear Journal," Harvest wrote, and when he told his journal all about it, he felt a little bit better. In the morning, Harvest was ready to take some vegetables to the market. But when he got outside, Buck was still digging. as if nothing had happened. I asked you politely to stop digging on my land, Harvest said. Now we're going to have a little talk with Chief Tapoot. You said you'd keep it all a secret, Buck cried. You need to stop being such a spoil sport. Harvest stood straight up, and you need to stop calling people names. Let's go. Buck let out a gulp, and off they went. What can I do for you two? Chief Tapoot asked. He wrote he won't let me dig for treasure, Buck said. He digs hole in my field without even asking, Harvest said. And he was really mean, tossing around my ears of corn, and called me names. I was so upset that I wrote about it in my journal. Harvest showed Chief Tapoot his journal, where he had written about how bad Buck made him feel. The chief looked at the journal. When he was done, he sighed. Buck, this is not a good way to make friends. You should be a buddy, not a bully. I felt awful. What did I do to make you bully me? Asked Harvest. When somebody bullies you, Chief said, it is not your fault. It is the bully's fault. What do you have to say, Buck? Buck looked shyly at Harvest. Harvest, I didn't realize I was hurting your feelings by ordering you around. It was wrong of me to bully you, and I am sorry. Can you forgive me? I forgive you, Harvest said. And as long as you don't disturb my vegetables, you can look for your buried treasure. Buck was amazed. Really? He asked. Sure, Harvest said. When people are kind to me, I always try to be kind to them. Harvest led Buck back to the farm and fixed them a dinner of mashed potatoes and corn on the cob. When the meal was done, Buck went to digging, and Harvest wrote about the day in his journal. And when the moon came out, they both went happily to sleep. The end. What does it mean to be a bully? Why is it wrong? What should you do if someone bullies you? Think about these things and then let me know later. And remember, keep reading.